Contrary to what you might think, I don't know every foreigner.
You know?
Another one, I think this is probably the most ignorant and most annoying. And number one on this list should come as no surprise to anyone because it is the number one thing I complain the most about being in Korea as a foreigner. It's the number one thing I hate the most. What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought it'd be fun to do another light-hearted listy type of video. We're gonna talk about stereotypes that Koreans have about foreigners while they're in Korea, while they're visiting Korea, or just about us in general. And these are things that I've encountered at the club, colleagues like who I worked with at school, things I've heard other students be told or asked by their fellow students in university. I just want to know, like, where y'all get this from? Like, who told you that? Some of it's really harmless, some of it is kind of annoying. It's like, why do you think that? Why do you assume that? Please tell me. I need answers. But before we get into this video, I want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell because I upload randomly, sporadically, several times a week now. And some people, you know, early in the notifications, in the comments, gang, notification gang. And then a lot of people are like, oh my god, I missed this. How did I miss it? Gotta join the notification gang, squad. Also wanted to mention that I just launched a K-beauty giveaway a few days ago now. And so far, not that many people seem interested. Like, I want to do these like several times a month for the next 6 months. Right now, we've got these up for grabs. It's a Medicube cream, Medicube toner, Medicube serum. I mean, if y'all don't want them, I keep them, but if you want to know more about that, you can check out this video. Also, for fun, it's already been a year since I started the whole channel membership thing. I can't believe it's been a year already. So to celebrate, I'm going to do a Zoom call this weekend, and it is the first one that we've done since like April, which is my bad. Life just gets away with you sometimes. Just to warn you guys, if y'all do join, these Zoom calls tend to last at least 2 hours. It's hard to schedule them because I mean, I'm an introvert. It's easy to talk to a camera. There's no one to judge me. I can cut out the dumb stuff I say. But when it's a Zoom call and you got dozens of faces just looking at you, it's intimidating sometimes. I have to prepare myself when I do them, and also the time zone differences. It's really hard to schedule these at a time when people can join. But if you want to join, it's gonna be this weekend. I'll have the details closer to the date. And as for the channel members, we do Discord chats, which I'm very grateful to the channel members who keep me in the loop with what's going on, because they like, girl, guess what just happened? Spilling all the tea all the time and the goss. Because I don't really follow up with all that. I kind of got a lot going on right now. So I'm grateful that they keep me in the loop. Most of the time it's PG and it's kid friendly, but sometimes it does get a little adult, so fair warning for that as well. But also, when you're a channel member, you get early access to videos, exclusive videos, you get badges, K-pop emojis, the Discord, the Zoom. I try to keep it light. It's only 99 cents a month. It helps me a lot, so that, yeah, let's get into the video. So yeah, this video and list. So if the first one on this list is harmless, but it's funny, I swear to God, they think we all know each other. Whether they tell you look like their one friend or ask you if you know their one friend, like, oh, they went to Yonsei University too, do you know them? And they're like, oh, well, when did they go? And they're like, oh, I think it was like 2012. And you're like, what? I wasn't a student at all in Korea, I was a teacher. But when I meet people, this is like the things we talk about as foreigners. We're like, yo, I think they think we all know each other. And like, they'll come up and dab you up and they'll call you the wrong name and ask if you know their homie. And then you're like, no, who's that? And they're like, oh, how do you not know them? And it's like, contrary to what you might think, I don't know every foreigner.
You know?
Don't get me wrong, the expat community in Korea is very tight-knit. Especially, you know, there's like meetups at Mike's Cabin. I hated Mike's Cabin. But there's like, and especially Thursday Party, there's a lot of Facebook groups for it. There's a lot of like communities and connection for foreigners in Korea, but not often does it, you know, switch to in real life. A lot of it is virtual and sporadic. It's not very common. The next one on this list is if you are a person of color, they assume you're like the best dancer. Which, you know, that's usually pretty true. Not gonna lie. It'll be quick and just a natural weird occurrence when you're in the club and you see like a circle start to form around you while you dance because you're a foreigner. They're like, oh, let's see what they can do. I know it's gonna be amazing. Grab your popcorn. They assume you play well at sports. They assume you can twerk really well. I can't. I was never gifted with the equipment to do that.
Before we come here, in front of the bus, a fan like dance like twerking.
Oh, it's twerking.
Oh, great.
Not in her twerk. Come on, they're looking at you. He's laughing at you. Bye.
They just assume you're cool overall in general. Like, you must be really good at sports, you must be a really good dancer, you can probably sing really well too. That's another one. They can't wait to go to karaoke with you because they're like, oh, you must know how to sing, surely your people sing all the time. But you know, that kind of goes both ways, because I honestly thought that the average Korean person could dance well. That is not true. And it kind of goes with the last one, but another thing is they think that they have to use like black English with you, whatever the fuck that means. I've seen it time and time again where I'm in a public normal setting, whether it's a bar, a pub, on like Itaewon Street where there's a lot of people just out casually, and you will see them talking to a less pigmented foreigner, normal English, just what's up, hello, how are you, nice to meet you, I'm fine, thank you, and you, where are you from? But as soon as they see some pigment, they go, yo man, hey yo man, what's good man, what's poppin'?
Cute.
And like I remember showing from that Itaewon clubbing vlog where like literally we were in soap and we were just out. It was me, I was with 2 other black friends, and we were, you know, dancing. My friend was trying to get close to the booth to see DJ that she really liked. We hear them talking to, you know, white foreigners naturally, normally, basic understandable English, and then when they see us and try to talk to us and tap us on our shoulder, they're like, yo man, what's up man, I'm trying to holla. Don't do that, not over here. And I've seen interviews where hip-hop artists from Korea call it black English, and So the next thing on this list, something I particularly notice with my students, like they teach you this in orientation, they recommend you to start off with like a lighthearted slideshow presentation, PowerPoint, oh my god, just showing like your life, the school you went to, your family, your neighborhood, what's life like for you back in your country, your city, to make the kids, oh teacher, and they ask questions. It's really cute. But they always were so surprised when I told them I was American and from the United States. First I wanted them to guess where I was from, and they were like, teacher, I know, and I'm like, okay. They're like, Mexico. I'm like, Mexico? And then I'm like, no. And then, Brazil, Namafrica, no.
That is not correct.
Teacher, India, no. So when I told them I was from the United States and I'm American, they're like, Chincha? What, teacher, really? And I'm like, yeah, like the United States is pretty mixed, you know, becoming more and more diverse. They assume that when you're like black or darker that you're straight from the motherland of Africa. They don't really say specifically any country in Africa, they just assume somewhere in Africa. So I do like to show them like slideshows and pictures of the diverse demographic and group shots, and you know, to see what it's like so they can see and kind of get that stereotype out of their head that if you're from the United States you must be white, because a lot of kids think that. Another stereotype that's actually really fun is they assume you cannot speak Korean, which is kind of fun. You can play the foreigner card, you can get out of a lot of stuff by feigning it. I don't know, I didn't know how to do that, I'm sorry. It's actually fun. It's kind of a benefit to being in Korea as a foreigner. You get away with a lot. When you speak the most basic Korean, they are so amazed and so shocked. Like, I very rarely speak Korean with Koreans in public, but I did a Busan vlog, which I hope you guys check out at some point. But I did a Busan video and we were on the beach lighting up sparklers and stuff, and we met this girl, I think she was from France, and she was there as a student. She spoke really good Korean. So this dude came up to her. It was like this guy, 2 guys, and one of the guys was like, they were like leaving the beach because it was late. We were out there till like 3 in the morning, just on the beach, drinking, music, sparklers. It was fun, fireworks. First he started speaking like very basic English, and then she replied in Korean. He was like, just clutched his pearls, and he's like, you can speak Korean? And they were going off. He's like, you're so beautiful. And we're just kind of listening, like that reaction, and her speaking Korean very naturally and fluent. I was like, go ahead girl, study. So that was funny. They really assume that you can't speak any of it. So it's always fun and a good idea to learn it so you can like shock them and blow them away. Another one, I think this is probably the most ignorant and most annoying. They assume that if you have darker skin, that you were likely poor or grew up poor. And I know that's not just a Korea thing, like that's just colorism worldwide. Centuries ago, laborers worked in the farms and in the fields, so they were darker, and the privileged, I don't have to work because I came from money types were pale because they stayed inside. And these days it's not so much a thing because, you know, they kind of assume if you're tan then you can afford to go on vacation and to the beach and stuff. But in Korea, white is right. Like, the whiter you are, the better. And they assume you are poor if you are dark. And even amongst Korean people, like in the rural side, you see a lot of farms, a lot of farms, a lot of ajumas, a lot of farms. And you know, when you're in Seoul or Busan, like the major cities, the important CEOs, company owners, and shareholders, idols, and models at whatever, like they're usually more pale because they don't have to go outside. Now this is one that I haven't really experienced firsthand, but I have friends. Kids, it's a double-edged sword. Like, they have no filter, which is very precious, and they're also like sponges, so they take everything in. So when you correct them, they kind of retain that, they keep it. I've heard a lot of friends talk about this. That's another thing I really like about foreign teachers when we go to Korea, because you can raise them up. You can be that influence and show them like diversity and show them firsthand that what they think about us is not true. Assuming that someone's poor because they're dark.
What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch? I don't need to explain myself.
And number one on this list should come as no surprise to anyone, because it is the number one thing I complain the most about being in Korea as a foreigner. It's the number one thing I hate the most, and that is that they assume and swear by the grace of God that all foreigners are just so easy to get in bed. Whether you're black and they think you do all this freaky shit you see in music videos and hear about in rap lyrics, whether you're white and they think you're a Russian prostitute. You don't even have to have the blonde hair, blue eye thing, because my friend Carrie, sweet as pie, the sweetest girl ever, very soft-spoken, barely talked. She was not blonde hair, blue eyed. She has like strawberry blonde reddish hair. She had like these hazel eyes, and this old man was following her and asking her like how much and trying to accost her because he just knew she must have been a Russian prostitute. Like, he was insinuating he knew about her profession. He's like, I know what you do. Mind you, she was walking from her school. Like, she was a teacher, an elementary school English teacher. And then when you're Hispanic, they assume that you're this fiery, passionate Latina lover. And I saw they did the Latin spice, Latina spice. There's pros and cons to this. Like, some people like, yeah, that's me. You shouldn't assume and be rude about it. Like, assuming that you can do the bare minimum and get the peach from people. I hate to sound so repetitive, but you know, I don't like to assume that everyone's seen these videos. But I was coming back from Gabia in Hongdae, that was the Creeps Club, and I was walking back by myself because you don't really think much about it. Like, you're safer in Korea, it just is what it is. And tap on my shoulder, I take my earbuds out, and he's like, where is your home? And just like that, wanted to come to my house. Didn't ask my name, didn't introduce himself, and they think it's like that, and I'm not a fan of that at all. Like, you still got to put in effort to get the peach. So yeah, these are just 7 stereotypes that I've experienced firsthand in Korea or have heard about through my friends in Korea. And some of it's harmless, some of it's annoying, some of it, you know, who cares, but just these videos are fun. So thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.